97 The Eagle. Good morning. It is Double T. It's time for Bar Comedy USA News with Dog. Dog, how are we doing today?
Good morning, Double T. It's good to talk to you. You know, I've got something today that maybe you would consider more of a PSA rather than a news segment.
Sure. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, this is, I guess, just a warning out there to comedians and an advisement that, following the election, it's probably best to actually avoid politics in your stand-up comedy.
You know what? That's a good point there because, you know what? There's always, in most political races, there's two candidates, two sides, and if you make fun of one, the other one's going to get mad. If you favor one, the other one's going to get mad. It's just to alienate half of your audience from the beginning is not a good thing, is it?
Absolutely. And of course it depends on the environment. And Double T, as you know, we bring live comedy to nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood restaurants, and bars in the nooks and crannies of America with the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour. And these people have also been drinking.
Yes.
So, sure, as a comedian, you can go there. You can talk about the hot button issues. But, starting a debate like that in a bar is like trying to juggle flaming swords while riding a unicycle on a tightrope over shark-infested waters. It sounds thrilling on paper until you realize those are not fake sharks.
And people are so passionate about it. So you're not going to change their mind. They're just going to be pissed, and it's just not a good situation.
That's right, 100%. And people go to comedy at their local watering hole to escape the news, to escape that stuff. So if they're already angry about what they've seen all day, at this point, if you bring it up during the show, you actually... Double T, you're no longer a comedian. You're just an accessory to everybody else's debate.
That is so true, and that's what it is. There's so much noise in the world and so much negativity and everything. We need an escape from that. We need entertainment. We need to laugh. We need to smile, and that's what comedy is all about.
Absolutely. People need... to go out there and have a good time. They don't need another reason to fight each other. You want to make people laugh. You don't want to turn it into carnage.
Exactly. And when you go to these small town taverns and hole in the walls and bars and everything, you just want to get on their side. You want to be their friend, and you want to have a good time with them. You don't want to argue and have them get mad at you.
No, and, that's the kind of stuff, it might work on the internet, but, that's like stuff that works in the movies. Like, it sounds fun to, try jumping into a volcano with gasoline shorts on, but in reality, it's going to be about half a second your face melts off.
It's got to be tempting at times, though, because there is some material out there. When you see it, you're like, oh, my God, that would make a great joke. But in the long run, it really isn't worth it, is it?
Well, I would say, back in the day, Double T, it used to be you would see Johnny Carson, you would see the greats doing political comedy, and they were always talking about the candidate in a fun-spirited way. Today, you see most of the comedians are talking about the voters in a very degrading way, no matter which side you're on. And that's what upsets people. Plus, like we said, they want to forget about all that stuff they hear in the news. Leave that to the late night talk show hosts who have sponsorships. You're in the middle of nowhere trying to entertain Joe Schmo. So just stick to the universal stuff, the awkward first dates, the weird stuff at the grocery store, complaining about speed bumps, a good joke about everybody's weird uncle. Now you got the whole group on your side, and that's how you create unity.
It's Bar Comedy USA News with Jared Dog. Tell everybody about the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour.
The Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, it gives you that outlet for escape from all the nonsense going on in the news. And you can head over to barcomictix.com. You can check out the schedule and you can make reservations for any of our shows. Dozens every month, bringing live comedy to nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood restaurants, and bars all over the country.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Talk to you next week, Double T.
It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Awesome, man.
Ah, that worked.
Yeah, it did. No, that was good. I'm glad that was a good topic because that is one of those things so touchy. You can't mess with it.
No, I mean, even like, it's funny that that was my bit today, and I was one of the reasons I called in late because I was sort of putting the finishing touches on it because I just thought of it this morning. And
right.
And then when I brought it up to you, told me that even you have been told not to bring it up.
Yeah. Not that I would. That's never been my world, but it's just funny.
No, it's not my world either. You know, even before, way back in the day, even before social media and things were quote unquote so divisive. Whenever I did stand up, I always avoided politics, religion, and sports. Because it pisses too many people off, and I don't know shit about any of those topics anyway. So.
Right. No, I get it. I totally understand.
No, I remember when I lived in Chicago, the sports one got me because when I lived in Chicago, I didn't realize this, and I would get booked in Wisconsin, and I had to stop whenever I got booked in Wisconsin. I would have to say, please don't introduce me as being from Chicago, because the first.
Right.
4 minutes of my set would be having to deal with how the Bears suck, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And I'm like, coming from Chicago, you're in Green Bay, and all the way from Chicago, hang him, get him.
Ooh.
Yeah, right off the bat.
We should talk about that sometime. I think it would be a fun topic too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it on the list.
Cool. All right, bud.
All right, thanks, Double T. Talk to you next week.
No problem, man. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.